You want to introduce yourself?
Yeah. So tell me when to go. Now?
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Jonathan Yu. I'm the owner of Master Toddy's Anaheim and Pomona. And that's pretty much it.
Do you have any regrets?
No, I don't. I try to live my life without any regrets, so I just live it to the fullest and then don't look back.
Your whole life, you've never done anything that you thought maybe...
Oh, I could have changed? Yeah, I mean, there's stuff that you can change, When I was a little kid, I was kind of bad, but even that, if I didn't go through that or didn't do that, it wouldn't put me to where I am now, because everything's a learning experience,
Bad how?
Bad, I went to jail, and got locked up, hang out with the wrong people, but that also taught me to be who I am, and that what gave me the character and learn how to survive and do things on my own,
How much can you talk about that?
I mean, I could talk about it. I got in trouble for strong arm robbery, and I spent a year in juvie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I was 16 years old.
Oh, man, really young.
Yeah, so they tried to try me as an adult. They said, you want to take a strike, and then we'll let you get out of jail, or do 1 year in jail in juvie and then not have a strike. So I feel like I don't want to strike my record for the rest of my life. So I just said, you know what, I'll just go to juvie, and then that was it.
How was that experience?
It was tough, being there, learning to survive. Everyone's trying to pick on you, I mean, when you're Asian, there's not that many people in jail, so everyone's against you. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
And how long were you in jail?
Just 1 year.
Oh,
yeah.
Came out at 17?
I came out 17, yep, and then just finished school, and then, then that's it.
Did that make you go back on the straight path?
Yeah. Well, I went not so straight when I came back, but I was a little bit smarter. And then, but it taught me be careful, And then, I grew out of it after a couple more years. I decided, I don't want to live that life anymore,
So what did you do then?
I just started training Muay Thai, and and then start doing stuff, and just stop hanging out with the wrong people.
Were you training Muay Thai before then?
Yeah, I wasn't really training too much. It was just more like other martial arts. I started with Kung Fu, did some other stuff, like self-defense stuff, but I didn't really get into it until later, until I got into college. I really started getting into Muay Thai.
So when did you start doing martial arts?
I started doing martial arts when I was 11 or 12, but where I'm from, your parents don't really want you to do Muay Thai. In Thailand, it's considered not like a upscale sport. Now it is, because Board Count, Sanchai. Now, we see a lot of celebrities in Thailand, rich people taking up Muay Thai. But the sport started as when you can't raise your kid, you send your kid to a Muay Thai camp. The gym raised your kid, teaches you how to fight, and then they send money back home. Yeah, so my parents didn't really want me to do Muay Thai. But then, when I got into college and I moved out, that's when I really started getting into Muay Thai and MMA and stuff like that.
So you grew up in Thailand?
I was born in Thailand, but I came here when I was 4 years old.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do you go back to Thailand?
Yeah, I go back every year.
Oh, every year?
Yeah. I haven't gone back because of COVID, but some years I'll skip because, I just get too busy running the gyms. But 2019, I went there twice,
How do you like Thailand?
It's fun. Yeah, I really like it a lot, actually. Yeah, it's a really nice country.
Do you feel at home there, or do you feel at home here?
Well, actually, you know what? I like being here, but every time I go back, something inside me feels oh, I'm home. The first time I was an adult and I went back, I was maybe 20 years old. And then when I got back, I felt man, this is home for me. I feel like I could live here. My brother actually moved back, and he retired there. Yeah, so he married a Thai girl, and he moved back.
Do you see that in your future?
No, I would want to have a home there and go back and forth. Maybe have a gym out there too, but I wouldn't want to live there. I still like America. More freedom to do things, Yeah.
So what was your first job?
My first job was delivering newspaper.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, when I was 9 or 10 years old. That was back in the day when they still let little kids do it. So you just get on your bike and you show up at 5 o'clock in the morning at someone's house, and they give you the newspaper, you put it in front of your bike in the bag, and you just ride it and you just throw it just like the video game, Paperboy. Then maybe 2 years after that they banned it, because in my city, I think all over the United States, because kids get run over, You're little 9-year-old, 10-year-old delivering newspaper. So they start using trucks instead.
Did you do that until it got banned?
No, I did for half a year, and then I just quit, Yeah.
You don't keep jobs?
Nah, I was just a little kid. My real job was I worked at the mall. I worked at Dairy Queen when I was 16 years old.
So that was
a job where I had it for at least a year.
Okay. And that was
Yeah.
around the same time you went to jail, huh?
Yeah, I think that's the job where I got right after I came out of jail.
Oh.
Yeah, so I came out of jail and then I had to get a job and go back to school. So I worked there, and then I got into working at restaurants and stuff like that too.
So where did you go from Dairy Queen?
I worked at my brother's friend's restaurant. So I was just delivering Chinese food, Thai food.
Okay.
Yeah, then I was a waiter there, and then I ended up just working there. And then I moved to the East Coast and stuff like that. Yeah.
And were you doing Muay Thai throughout the school?
No, I started doing Muay Thai a little bit later.
After-
After that, like when I was like 20 years old.
So what made you take Muay Thai seriously?
You know what? It was just because I was training with my friend, and then he knows I was doing business back and forth in Thailand a lot, and he was like, "Hey man, since you're in Thailand, let's hit up these Muay Thai camps." And then I was like, "Hey, you know what? Let's do this." I always wanted to do it more seriously, and he's like, "Dude, you're in Thailand. Why are we training in America? Why don't we train there?" I didn't think he was serious because I met him in New Jersey. He hit me up like a year after I moved back out of nowhere. And I was like, all right, dude, you want to meet me in Los Angeles? We'll fly Thailand together. And ever since then, me and him just flew back and forth,
Wow.
And then, and after that, I started going by myself because he can't go always because he's in the East Coast. But he ended up living there for like 3 years with his family.
And that's where you found the passion for Muay Thai?
Yeah. That's what I started doing. Well, I met Master Toddy, and that's how I really got into,
okay.
do Muay Thai, yeah.
So how long would you spend training Muay Thai in Thailand?
The longest I spent was like 3 months, 4 months. Yeah. So one time I went like 2-3 months, came back, went to Vegas, trained Master Toddy. Then he said he's gonna go back to Thailand for a TV show, and I was like, all right, dude, I want to go. He's like, all right, man, come. You could come and help me teach. So I went, and then so I was literally in America for like 2 weeks, and I followed him back to Thailand for another like 2-3 months.
Was that when you started teaching?
Yeah. So he got me into teaching, right in the beginning, because I was just translating. Because when you're in Thailand, a lot of people the trainers don't speak English. So there's a lot of foreigners, like 90% of the people that train at these gyms these days are all foreigners, and they can't understand what the trainers are saying. Like if you're throwing like a wrong punch, they're like, oh, yes, they don't even know how to say, hey, do it this way. Like rotate your hips, turn your body, stay relaxed. They don't know how to say any of that stuff because these guys are like trainers that are from like outside of Bangkok. Even people from Bangkok don't even speak English that well. So I started translating more, and then I was helping the foreigners translate. So then the trainers were teaching me how to teach. The Master Toddy was teaching me how to teach. And I got to go corner fights. I got to work with like Team USA when they were there for the World Thai tournament.
Whoa.
Yeah, with Team US. That year, there's a bunch of different world tournaments. But that year, 9-10 years ago, Team USA and Team Australia was training at Master Toddy's gym, and I happened to be there, so I got to help them prepare. And I think Team Australia that year got like the third most medals, I think. Yeah, they brought a pretty solid team,
So when did you start training?
I started training like, I think when I was 21, so maybe
How old are you?
15 years? No, 18?
18 years.
Yeah, 21, 30. Yeah, 18 years ago.
18 years ago, that was when you took it seriously?
Yeah. That's why I took Muay Thai more seriously.
When did you start your gym? When did you open
I
it?
started the gym 11 years ago.
Okay, so in 8 years you opened the gym from when you started taking it seriously?
Yeah, like 7 years.
Okay. So
Yeah, but I had to fly back like all the time. Like I was flying back and training there and spending like months and months there,
Tell us about that journey. How did you go from translator to gym?
Well, Master Toddy told me like, hey man, you know what you're doing. You have a good business mind, because during that time I had my own business too. I was importing furniture from Thailand.
Okay.
That's why I was there. And then I first was training because I want to be a professional fighter. Then he was like, man, dude, like you're going from having a business and helping your family. If you quit everything and become a professional fighter, the fighters here make like $10, $50 a fight. He's like, you're not going to be able to live your life and make Muay Thai a part of it. And he's like, why don't you open a gym for me? And then you could get to do something that you love and still, and still make money and be able to pay your bills. And I thought about it and I was like, I don't know, man. I think it's pretty hard, I can't just go from training all of a sudden to open my own gym. But then he has a lot of gym owners that train with him. So he does certifications for teachers too. So whenever you go to Thailand, you either have like half the people there training to become a fighter, but his gym, you have half that are like want to become gym owners or are already gym owners, because he trained a lot of coaches throughout America. Some like the top UFC coaches actually did their coaching course with Master Toddy, and he taught them how to teach Muay Thai. So I talked to two of the owners there, and then I was like, hey man, like, is it like legit, like opening a Muay Thai gym? Like, can I make money? You know, can I pay my bills? He was like, yeah, dude. Like, I had a little gym. I met Master Thai. Now I own like the biggest gym in Virginia Beach, 20,000 square feet. Another guy owned like a really big gym up north in like Stockton area. And then, you know, they're like, hey, dude, you're gonna open the gym. Just, you know, you can ask us questions so you don't make the same mistakes that we made. So I was like, all right. So then let's just start asking him questions. And I told Master Thai, I was like, yeah, man, I'll open the gym for you. And he was just like, what? And I was like, yeah, I'll do it. Then I came back a month later, I opened this gym. And he was just like, damn, you know, like, whatever you say, you do. And I'm like, that's how I was brought up. If I'm going to say something, I'm going to do it. I'm not just going to talk the talk, you know, and not walk the walk. And he was like, wow. And ever since then, we got really close, you know, because he knew, like, well, if I say something, I'll do it.
So tell us about owning a gym. How has that experience been?
I thought it would be easy, but it's very, very, very hard. I thought, like, oh, man, you know, I'm opening this gym. I can still train. I can still do things. But totally, it just takes up all your time, you know. Even if it's a business, any business owner, you know, you're a small business owner, you do everything. Like, I'm the trainer, I'm the janitor, I'm the accountant, I'm the marketing guy. Like, you wear a bunch of different hats, you know. Like, you do everything, and it's a lot harder than what it was. And then I deciding, oh man, I should open another gym. So I opened another gym like 4 years after I opened my first gym, and that made it even harder. You know, so it was difficult.
If it was hard, what was the motivation behind opening the second gym?
You know what? It was just, I just wanted to, at that time, I just wanted to train people, you know? I just wanted to spread like the art of Muay Thai. And there wasn't a lot of like real gyms that are teaching real Muay Thai. So you go to MMA gyms and they're teaching you Muay Thai, but it's not. It's just like some random striking. And I know because I used to train here, like in America, before I went to Thailand and really learn the real thing. So I really wanted to take the real product and teach people the proper way of doing Muay Thai. You know, so I did this 11, 12 years ago. Now there's more Muay Thai gyms coming up, but still, you know, we wanted to teach the most authentic way possible. And that's how I became connected with the Sports Authority of Thailand. So the Sports Authority of Thailand are the people that are in charge of like the Olympics. Like they're like the ones that run Thailand sports. So they do Muay Thai and they have a really big promotion that they do. So they contacted me 2 years ago to work with them and be their official person in America. So whenever they have a fight in America, they will have to go through me now, and then I will be the one that gives away the belts, the championship belt, on behalf of the Thai government and, you know, the Sports Authority of Thailand. But what's crazy is Master Thai works with the government of Thailand too, but he works with the Minister of Education. So we work with the Minister of Education of Thailand. So you go to Thailand, you could get like a 1-year visa because you could be a student at his gym. Not a lot of gyms could give out that. You're only supposed to stay for 1 month and you're supposed to go home because you're only on 1 month visa. If you want to extend your visa, people used to like go to Cambodia and then come back. Wow. Then you get another month, you know? Or you have to ask for a visa before you leave. But at Master Toddy's, he'll give you up to like 1, 2, or 3 years. So we work with them. So he works with them, where I work more with the Sports Authority of Thailand, where they're more into the fighting part of, you know, of Thailand. And they saw that we were doing good here, and we were trying to like teach real Muay Thai. That's the reason why we got approached to always work with the government. And even him, like sometimes university students that take like physical education and they're getting their master's degree, one of the end parts of them getting their degree is they have to come and train Muay Thai with Master Thai to get their degree in physical education and stuff like that, you know.
So that collaboration between the both ministers works well, huh?
It works well, but sometimes people get jealous because everyone wants to get paid, you know. So when you work with the government, you work with those people, you know, like everyone wants to make money, you know. So they want to see like who you're loyal to, you know. Like we have one side that's like, hey, I need you to do this for me, that for me, but you don't want to step on the other side's toes. So I usually just stay neutral, you know. Yeah, so I don't try to do too much.
You tell you're very passionate about Muay Thai.
Yeah.
Do you still enjoy teaching it? Do you still enjoy watching it?
I like watching it, teaching it, I do too, but you know, when you do everything every day, sometimes you get burnt out, you know, especially after like COVID, all this stuff happened, you know, a lot of people were hurting, right? Sometimes I have other things I do, I have other projects, like I help my parents and their work, their company. So I do that, you know, I have other gigs, other stuff. So sometimes it's hard. Like I still enjoy it, but sometimes you do something for so long, a little bit of passion is gone. You have to tell yourself like, look, man, like I could be stuck doing a 9 to 5 or doing something I hate. At least I'm here doing something that I like, even though it's repetitive and I do 6 days a week. And sometimes I work all day. Like I teach privates in the morning, then I go do other stuff. I go home, I come back and teach more privates, then 2-3 classes, then another private, and then I'm teaching fighters and training and holding pads. So it's very tiring, you know. So it's hard to be super passionate when you don't have a lot of help, you know. So right now I'm trying to grow my base and I'm getting more help in Anaheim, so I could just step away and teach more, like fighters, and teach more different things instead of having to worry about the business all the time, you know.
And where do you see yourself going? Do you see yourself opening more gyms? Do you see yourself...
I can see myself opening more gyms if the people that I train want to open a gym. I would definitely help them instead of them being like, oh, okay, become good, become a champion, and then they bounce to open their own gym and be your competitors, which happens all the time. Now I thought about it. I'm like, okay, if you want to open your own gym, let me help you. We could be partners, right? Not open it down the street, just open it 20 miles away, you know, and we could work together. That's the only way I'll open. I have got approached by many people that wanted me to like franchise and open, told me I'll open it for you. I'm like, all right, well, what's the gig? Like, what, you know, why would you open it for me? And like, oh, do I have to put any money in? No, don't worry, I have a space. I'll build it out for you. But I want you to teach there 4 times a week. And I'm like, dude, I can't teach there 4 times a week when I have 2 other gyms that I need to be at. The only way that I would do it is if I don't have to be there. That's why I created a curriculum for this gym and for the other gym. So now people just follow my curriculum, and then I can just step away and people will still like it and they still come and train, you know, without me having to physically be there. Yeah.
Do you have any fears?
Yeah, I mean, everyone has fears, you know. You have fear of failing and, you know, a fear of just not, you know, like dying without doing what, you know, all the things you wanted to achieve, you know, like regretting. That's why I say, like, I don't want to regret anything. I try to live life to the fullest. I don't want to be on my deathbed and be like, man, I should have done this, you know. Why should I should have done that, or why was I stuck doing this? If I'm not happy with being at the gym, then I would just leave, you know, because I wouldn't want to be stuck somewhere and do something I wouldn't like. And then that's what I probably would be most afraid of, is just, you know, like being complacent, you know, and not seeking, like trying something new, you know. That's the reason why I opened the gym, because I didn't like what I was doing before. And then someone gave me the opportunity, and I'm like, either I stuck selling furniture or I get to try something that I love, you know. So that's the only thing I'm afraid of, is just, you know, I guess dying without trying new things, you know, and regretting things, you know. Yep, yeah.
Do you believe in God?
Me, I do and I don't. Like, I don't worship God. I'm more like a Buddhist, but I don't go to church, and I don't really go to temples, but I just feel like you do have the answer to a higher being, and you need to be good. Like, you do good, I believe in karma. Like, you do good, then good things will happen to you.
So what is good? What defines a good person?
What defines a good person is a person that just do good things, try to do as much good things as possible, like be nice, help your parents, right? Help people. Anyone you see that needs help on the streets, you should try to help them, right? People that are bad are people that are like lying, cheating, you know, breaking the law, you know. And some laws, yeah, like it's you know what I mean? It's like whatever, but you know, like bad things like hurting someone for no reason and like raping and killing, like that kind of law, you know. But let's say like, oh, like, I don't know, you did your taxes wrong and then you get busted, like that kind of law is like, all right, man, you know, that's not really hurting anybody. Like that's what I mean, you know.
Do you have a message for the world?
Dude, the message is just, you know, do what you enjoy, and then that's it, you know. And then whatever you do, be the best at it, you know. And then my message is, no one owes you anything. That's what like someone taught me when I was growing up. So I never expect anything from anybody. And these days I see a lot of younger people coming out of school and they expect, like, you know, oh, this person owes me this, my big brother owes me that, my mom and dad should do this for me. And what I was taught was, no one owes you anything. You have to make it for yourself, and you gotta just do it on your own. And if you don't expect anything from anybody, you'll do a lot better than just expecting things and you're not doing anything. And then that's it. Yeah, don't expect anything, and nothing in life is for free. Right?
Thank you, Coach.
Yep. Thank you.